Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in Spakovo, Poland. So we are now in the second half of July. Sun is shining, the weather is good. Yeah, it makes me feel pretty darn good. This is our wheat area and the crop looks very thick and the wheat stalks look pretty full, so I am guessing this is gonna be a pretty good yield. Our potatoes also look nice. We don't really have anything new to report animal wise, but I will go and have a look. Oh, I forgot to close the door. Yeah, so I'm gonna go travel to a neighbor and have a look at a combine, because we will have to get something, otherwise we'll be out in the dry. Mr. Pavel still hasn't fixed his combine, so yeah, we might even help his harvest. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. And while we're on the way here, let's have a quick little look at our sorghum field. It's really grew a lot. Yeah, so this is sorghum, and if I'm not mistaken, you don't harvest the whole plant like you do with wheat, but you cut it a bit higher up, and then it takes, okay, yeah, it's in rows, of course, because we needed a planter to put it in the ground. In any case, you cut a bit higher up, and then you take these sorghum stalks in the combine, and it filters out the beans. I think it's beans. Small beans. Yeah, but we're gonna see what we get off this field. It should be good. At least I'm pretty much hoping it will be. And while we're here, let's go and have a look at our soybean field. That's the last of our crops. It's already in the ground. Yeah, it's a bumpy ride. Alrighty, and this should be our soybean field. Yeah, I didn't have to turn off the car, but yeah, this is how the soybeans look. I don't know if these flowers actually turn into soybeans later on. We're gonna have to have a look when everything is all grown. But it looks like it's gonna be a pretty healthy crop. I gotta say, I'm kinda impressed that we don't have any weeds anywhere. Might be because we actually plowed all the fields and then the weeds can't really reproduce. I'm not sure if that's the case. So if any one of you knows, please let me know in the comments down below. Because yeah, it's an interesting thing. Okay, yeah, we can go for a ride together. Yeah, I should not be pushing this old Lada so much. We might just lose our life in it. Yeah, 80 seems pretty good. And onto the main road. So this combine is supposedly quite old. I think it has around 40 years already. It might even be 50. I'm not completely sure about the age of it. I might have a look online after we see it, because I'm gonna have a reference of what we're looking at. But yeah, it's supposedly in good working order. It just needs a bit of service and a bit of a cleanup, and it should be pretty much ready to go in the fields. And its farm should be... look at that, that's probably it. This really doesn't feel like an entrance, and I'm driving like a maniac, stopping in the middle of the main road. Yeah, don't do that, people. Yeah, this this looks like a more proper entrance. Yeah, that really looks like a combine. Okay, let's see if we can find anyone. Hello, anyone home? Alright, so yeah, I've had a cup of coffee with the owners. This was the grandfather's farm of the owner, the current owner, who sadly passed away. And that means that the whole place over here is basically abandoned. And they're looking to sell the equipment. Most of it has already been sold. They're also gonna sell the land. But yeah, one of the last pieces is this combine. It's a class. I still haven't checked the age of it, but yeah, the price for it is 21,000 euros. Which might sound like it's a lot, but if you want to get a combine from the 90s, early 2000s, you are gonna have to pay, well, more than 80,000, maybe even more than 100,000 for it. So it's quite a bargain. Most of it is in original color. It's just a bit faded. The cab has been added later on. It was an open one, and it was added later on. Yeah, the owner said, because he remembers when he was a kid and going around the farm with his granddad, that it was an open cab, but later on that got added, and it was painted in a more modern kind of scheme. So it's a class Mercator 75. Yeah, in any case, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my car back to the farm, and I'm gonna ask Mr. Antoni if he can give me a lift and bring me over here. In the meantime, I'm gonna pay that 21 grand for this machine, and that is gonna bring us pretty low on money. We're only gonna have around 22,000 left, which of course is still quite a lot of money, but not a lot in terms of having and running a farm. So I really do hope we're gonna have some crops that we're gonna be able to sell this year and make some money back, because otherwise we are in for a problem. But you know, there is one song, I think it was Jackson's 5, and it was featured in Guardians of the Galaxy, I believe, mix. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. And yeah, I firmly do believe things are gonna get easier. And on the other hand, I am... oh, what beautiful horses. Wow, look at those beautiful animals. Gotta be a ranch over here, and also cattle. Where was I? Yeah. So I do believe we are slowly but surely coming towards the, let's say, that we own everything we need on the farm. And we're gonna be pretty much self-sufficient. Combine was one of the last big purchases we had to do. I could probably get something cheaper, something older, but I'm very excited with to have a cab on a combine, because I was looking through different options and most of them were, well, without a cab. And I'm driving 80 through the town. How rude of me. How very rude. So in any case, yeah, I'll ask Mr. Antonio to give me a lift, and I'll see you down at the combine. That should be interesting. Alrighty, Mr. Antonio already went back home. I paid 21 grand for the combine, and I'm just looking at the town sign, or the direction, 1 kilometer towards Spakovo, or is Szpakowo. If anyone of you watching is from Poland, let me know how this is pronounced. Yeah, I know we're almost 80 episodes deep, but yeah, let me know. In any case, let's go get our combine. The keys should be in, the owner's already left. So yeah. This place really looks like a very neat piece of property, doesn't it? Like, you could build a great farm over here. So yeah, if any one of you watching is interested, there is this piece of land on sale. I got no idea what the price is, but yeah, it used to have fields, as you can see, probably being corn. Yeah. Yeah, excuse me, what's wrong? I'm tired. Yeah, let's climb into this baby. Hey, and we're in. Alright, keys, keys, keys. This seems to be my forever problem. I can't find the starter bar. Oh, it's over there. The left is just a button. Huh, look at that. It actually started. Yeah, the previous owner did say that they took it out of the shed and they got it running. So let's see if we can lift our header. Okay, hydraulics work. Gears, gears, gears. They are... And this only has 3 gears and 1 reverse. Okay, let's put it in first. And it moves. It's surprisingly quiet for a machine this old. I probably shouldn't be revving it too much, because you never know what kind of debris it has in the engine. And yeah, if you rev it too much, it just might damage the actual engine bay or the cylinders or whatnot. Gotta be quick. Otherwise we're not gonna go through. Excuse me, sir. A combine coming through. Okay, let's see if we can get it into second gear. Okay, and let's try and get it in third gear. Alright. I'm gonna set the automatic throttle control and leave it go. I got a duck. There are trees growing in the road. Yeah, this is probably not meant to go to paths like this, side roads. The class. I just noticed it has a window. It has two windows with which you can see how much grain you have in the hopper. Good. Lovely. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna visit Mr. Pavel and show him what I bought. That should be a good surprise. And now that we're going so slow, we can actually have a look at the horses. They have many different breeds. And also cows. Again, many different breeds. No Holland cows though. I guess they are pretty rare here in this part of the world. Because they're not very useful, they don't give much milk. And they're pretty high maintenance. So yeah. I'm just like a little kid, you know, going towards someone and we're gonna surprise them. Like giggling. Let's see if we can get it through the gate over here. Yikes! Okay, we're in. I didn't think this through. I don't know how I'm gonna get out. Well, I'm gonna ask him to help me reverse, I think. Alright, let's get out. Mr. Pavel! Yeah. So we had a nice cup of coffee. We had even lunch. And now it's time to go. Yeah, I know I already said it, but it's so nice having good friends like Mr. Pavel and Mr. Antonio living nearby. Because, you know, sometimes life throws a wrench in your cogwheel setup and you just need a bit of a hand sometimes, and friends like this really do make a difference. Okay, what's with the traffic? Okay. Out. Gotta be careful not to turn too quickly, because I might just catch the rear. Yeah, in any case, he did say that this is a good combine. He has seen it before. He has even seen exactly this one at work. But that was a long time ago, he said. The previous owner got sick and he just couldn't farm anymore, so everything kind of went into the sheds and waited there for better times and for new owners like us. Alright, well, see you back at the farm. A few hours later, we arrive back to our farm. And I was just looking at the neighbor's field, and it's completely overgrown with weeds. Okay, I took this turn a bit too quickly. Yeah, I have noticed that we are not sitting in the center, which is usually the case with combines. We are actually offset a bit to the left. Which is no issue, but it's just something to keep in mind while moving around and trying to do precise movements here and there. Okay, let's go and have a look at our Okay, yeah, I gotta learn the controls. So this is probably starting the thresher unit. We have indicators here, lights here, ignition here. This puts out the auger, and no, this is the thresher unit. What's that? Oh, this is for lifting and lowering the header. Okay. Okay. If I say okay one more time, there's gonna be 45 okays in this okay line. So, first order of the day, let's wash it down. Get all the grime off. To see what we're actually working with. And I really do want to get into the bowels of this machine because I kind of sort of know how combines work. But that's a far cry from seeing what actually makes this engine tick. That's probably diesel, but you know what I mean. So let's see what can we open up. Okay. Probably open up this, yes. Okay, so these are the belt systems that drive things. Okay, the engine is probably on top. It usually is. Yeah, okay, that's the engine. So that drives this wheel. It actually has two drive wheels. Interesting. There's probably a clutch in between that makes one stop and one go. Probably. Okay, and then all the power gets transferred to this. This is probably the unit that shakes all the prop that's inside, and this is probably connected to the belt that drives the header. Okay, yeah, that's one of the things. And it's probably connected. Yeah, so you can actually see this belt right here goes down towards this place. And this in turn drives this wheel, and this wheel in turn drives the header. Interesting. This is a header that doesn't use not a sprocket. What's it called? A PTO shaft. It's actually belt driven. Very interesting. Alright, and this probably goes inside and does the whole chopping things. And this is probably connected also to the shaker unit, and it must be connected to the drive that, or the screw that takes to the screw that takes crop or grain up to the hopper. Yeah, so it's very easily accessible, this whole thing. Beautiful. Okay, let's check the other side. I hope you're interested in this, because it's very interesting to me. Okay, this is the fuel tank over here. Let's cover it back up. Oh, okay. So these are two parts of a cover. Can we do anything on this side? Okay, we can open it, and there are even more belts in here. So these are probably the conveyors that take grain to the top. Yeah, you can see that it's actually all the way through and up to the top, and then it probably throws everything in. We are dissecting the combine. I'm not exactly sure what this is all about, but it looks like another conveyor belt. Interesting, let's go and have a look. See if we can actually jump inside. Okay, yeah, so that is the screw that brings in. So this conveyor brings in grain and drops it down, and that conveyor probably goes to the auger. Okay, yeah, so that's a drive for the auger that comes out on this side, and then you drop into the trailer, and that has a PTO. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's drop down. I think there's one more thing we can have a look at. Yeah, so this is the auger wagon. Not wagon, the auger. So the grain comes through the top, drops down, and then it gets driven and dumped out. And let's see if we can actually get to the engine top. I get hurt. I'll be right back. Alright, had to put the auger out. You can see how far it extends. Yeah, a genius design. Anyway, let's try and see what's inside here. And this is the engine. So this block right here drives the whole thing. It moves it around. It makes it go. It actually runs all the belts that you've seen and all the thresher units inside and everything. So very interesting thing. Alright, well, while we have this open, I am gonna do a quick service on it. So let's get to work. Fuel-wise, I think it's already fueled. The previous owner actually made sure of that. But yeah, let's open the whole thing up and let's do some maintenance on it. Alright, we paid 740 euros for all the parts for the main engine unit and 146 euros for the header. And now everything has been done over. I did install a new chain in here because the previous one was pretty much rusted shut, and I think it's time to start the whole thing up and see how everything runs. Okay, let's see if the new oil actually made any difference. Yeah, I know the engine's compartment and everything is open, but let's give it a go. All right. I don't know if you can see, but it's shaking pretty wildly. I do hope everything is fine with it. But otherwise, we'll have a look. Alright, this is our running. All the belts over here are running. This actually looks like a CVT clutch. Interesting. Yeah, and the finger grinder. Look at how it's shaking. Oh, it's good. Yeah, let's cover it back up. Oh, you can actually see this is the unit. How geniusly it's designed. There's actually a crankshaft that shakes the shakers. And these actually push the straw back, and in the meantime it drops all the seeds, all the grain, so you get some straw outside. Excuse me, you get straw thrown out from the back and the grain collects at the front where it gets pulled up by the conveyor belt we've seen. Amazing. Alright, so this is the actual sprocket or belt that drives the shakers. Yeah, I do hope you enjoy watching things like this because I tremendously enjoy them. I know it's very selfish to do things that I like, but yeah. Beautiful. Alright, well, my opinion is that we have a working combine. Let's turn it off. How much quieter it is. Okay, well, I think it's time to put it in its shed. Now, I am reversing mostly blind because these rear view mirrors are not too helpful. Hey, everybody, we have a combine. So yeah, while I was working on it, I have noticed that this combine is really not symmetrical. For example, we are sitting more towards the left. The center of the combine is around where the center spoke is. And the rear is offset more to the right. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you, but yeah, it is. Believe me. Okay. Now the shed should be should be tall enough to fit our combine in. If not, I'm gonna be very sad. Because it was specifically built for this combine. Oh, shoot. Almost made problem. I forgot to close the engine bay. Help. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, let's close this. I really should come up on this side. Okay, so the verdict is, yes, we are gonna fit in. We are not too tall. Good, because this was the main thing that I was worried about. Let's readjust. Okay, so yeah, and the shed is basically the best possible shape it can be. Okay, we still have about a meter left. Gently. And enough. Yeah, I did put it in a bit sideways, but look at this, the perfect parking job. So yeah, if you have a look at the center of the combine, this is approximately the center of the combine. You can see the cab is more to the right, and the steering wheel is even more to the right. But we go towards the back and look at this end. Yeah, I can't really go underneath. You can see that this part is almost over the wheel. And if I go to the other side, you will see that this part is a bit more inwards. So yeah, an interesting combination. And I gotta say, I'm very much looking forward to using this on the fields. I think it's gonna be an amazing experience. As long as it works as it should. Right? Right. Beautiful. Okay, well, in any case, thank you all for watching. This was more of a let's get the combine and fix it up episode rather than anything else. But yeah, it's a great big job done. And the shed is looking mighty fine. So yeah, I'm very happy and I'm very excited because next month, I do believe in August, we're gonna be able to do some harvesting with it, which should make us all nice and happy. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I really do hope that you had fun and join us next time where we continue with the adventure. And when we put this new addition to the test. Take care and goodbye.